Hello, everyone. Welcome to an episode of Jedi Talk with me, your host, Brad Hughes. Hello, Internet. My name is Brad Hughes. I'm the host of the Daily Disney Blog podcast, the Gentleman and the Scholar podcast, and this podcast, Jedi Talk, where it's an all Star Wars show. Today, there's not a lot of news because I think we're going to get into why in just a few minutes, but I think in a few days, literally days, we're going to have a ton of stuff to talk about. Disney-related stuff, Star Wars-related stuff, all kinds of stuff we're going to be able to talk about. So until we get to D23 and beyond, we're not going to have a ton of stuff to talk about, but let's talk about what we can talk about now. So let's start talking about what we can talk about. Okay. First up on the show here, actually before we get the show started, please do me a favor. Follow me on Twitter at Daily Disney Blog. You can follow my co-host Joshua, who is not here today, over on Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope at Lumberjack Rican, and me again on Twitter and Periscope at Daily Disney Blog, especially if you're a Disney fan, because I go to the Disney parks here in Orlando, Florida quite a bit. So if you're interested in seeing stuff live from the parks from that, feel free and do that. All right. Ooh, first one I've had in like 2 weeks. Let's move on here and get on to our first topic on the show. Star Wars The Last Jedi. What is happening? Star Wars The Last Jedi will not be at San Diego Comic-Con. Lucasfilm has come out and said that they will be at San Diego Comic-Con, but they will not have a giant presentation at Comic-Con. So that's interesting to people who are big fans of San Diego Comic-Con. Then a lot of Last Jedi related stuff is going to be coming out at D23. And I was under the assumption before all this Han Solo drama took place that was going to be the place where they really focused in on Han Solo stuff, where we'd get to see our first footage from it. You know, we'd get to see maybe a trailer, like a very, very, very short teaser trailer about the Han Solo stuff. You know, even just seeing Alden Ehrenreich in character as Han Solo would have been very, very cool. So I don't think that's going to happen now. You may still get like a production still or something of him at either San Diego Comic-Con or D23, but I don't think we're going to get quite the push we thought we were going to get with the Han Solo movie. I had someone ask me the other day on Twitter, or was it an email? Maybe an email. About, do you think we're going to get a Last Jedi trailer now that Han Solo is pretty much not happening? I mean, we can assume they may show something, but who knows? I mean, the movie's happening, but the presentation not happening at D23. And I think it would be smart. I mean, right now we're 5 months away and a few days, 5 months and a few days away from The Last Jedi. We're actually 165 days, 21 hours, and 34 minutes. But who's counting? It's on the website. I didn't know that off the top of my head. How nerdy would that be? But I think we are. I think we are going to get a Last Jedi trailer, because I think with all this drama that's happened recently with sorry, I'm fixing my magic pen here. With the Han Solo movies, I think it would be a good move for Lucasfilm to release the full trailer, because you know we got the teaser trailer at Star Wars Celebration, and I think it would be good now. And that was in, was that March? April? April. I think it was April. I think now would be a good time to go ahead and drop that Last Jedi trailer and get the positive buzz about Star Wars again, because right now everyone's kind of reluctant about Star Wars stuff. So, I mean, even me, I'm very nervous. I didn't want to see a Han Solo movie in the first place, but, you know, I'm obviously going to be the, what's up, man? I'm going to be the first person to, if you hear me say random stuff like this, it's not pertaining to the conversations, because we're streaming live on YouTube and I'm talking to the people who are commenting on the YouTube video. If you, I think it's not, I don't remember what I was saying, but I think now would be a good time, because people like me didn't even want to see a Han Solo film, but now that it's happening, you know, it'd be good for Lucasfilm to get back on the fans' good side. And actually, I've kind of calmed down a little bit about Ron Howard being the director of the Han Solo film, whatever it's going to be called. We don't even have a title for this movie yet. We don't even know if it's just going to be Han Solo, if it's going to be Han Solo, a Star Wars story, Star Wars Han Solo story, Han Solo, who knows what it's going to be called. We don't even know the title of the movie yet. They still call it Red Cup, so you can think for obvious reasons why that is. Red Solo Cups. But I think they will. I think they will drop the full trailer here, and then that will hold us until about October. And then I think they could drop the last trailer in October for The Last Jedi and have like the final, like, that's all you get. and then that's when they'll drop the international trailers. Like they did a lot of the same stuff for the Force Awakens when that came out. There was a few international trailers that I think showed a little bit too much of stuff. I didn't need to see, like, the one scene I'm thinking about in particular that I saw before, that I saw in the international that I was like, whoa, okay, I'm good, I don't need to see anymore, was the scene where Kylo Ren and Rey are in the forest and she's doing whatever she was doing in the context of the movie, and they show him like putting his lightsaber next to her face. I remember seeing that and being like, okay, see, now I know that they interact with each other. And it was just like, don't show anymore. That was my point where I stopped watching stuff. I was like, okay, no, done. We're done here. So, I hope they don't show too much with these Last Jedi trailers, but I don't think they will. I think that they are smart enough to know that people don't want to see too much of these Star Wars movies. Plus, especially the one with Luke now. Like, Luke's going to be the main, well, not the main player, but a main player in the film. I think they need to like just slow down and let people get excited and just show just enough. I think you do need to show Snoke in a trailer though. Like, now that he's an established character and he's essentially the Emperor, I think you have to show Snoke. I hope they do. If they don't show Snoke this time, I might be bummed, because I like Snoke. He's one of my favorite characters of the new franchise, and I don't know why, but I like him. And I also there's some stuff going around online. There was an interview with Disney CEO Bob Iger, and he got approached at a car wash by TMZ, and they were asking him all kinds of questions like, is it true Ron Howard's the director? He's like, yes, he's the director. It's still going to be a great film, blah, blah, blah. And then the interviewer asked him, is it still going to come out in May? And he said no comment. So that had the whole internet like speculating like, oh my God, this movie's not going to come out when they said it was. I don't think it's going to. I would be very, 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 very surprised if this movie stays on track and comes out May 18th. They may announce that at D23 that it's being pushed back. I think they have to push it back at this point. With as much nonsense that has been going on in this production, it doesn't make sense to keep it on that same production schedule. You have to push it back a little bit, give yourself some breathing room, time to regroup. All the rumors with them hiring an acting coach for Alden Ehrenreich. There's all these things that have just been going on with this film during production, and it's just like, what do we do? And I think they're going to have to push it back to 2019. Someone said maybe they could put it in December in 2019. I personally don't think they'll do that. December of 2018, because that is when the new Mary Poppins Returns movie comes out, and it's a Disney property against another Disney property. I don't think Disney wants to do that. They don't want to compete directly with themselves like week by week. You know what I'm saying? They don't mind competing with themselves, with Marvel and Lucasfilm and then the original Disney stuff. But I don't think they would put like 1 week they would put like a Captain America movie out, then a Star Wars, and then Disney animated film. Like, that just doesn't make sense. You have to spread it out so people who are fans of everything have enough money and time to go see everything that you put out. That's why I don't think it's going to get pushed to 2018 in December, unless they push Mary Poppins back, which actually might be a good move. Depending on, if we get a trailer and we like the trailer, that could be a smart move to push Mary Poppins back into like January, February. And that's usually kind of where like movies that suck go. They kind of just banish them to January and February. With the exception of Deadpool a few years ago, that one was like the big surprise. Like, holy crap, a February movie that made $150 million in its opening 2 weeks or something, whatever it was, crazy. Maybe open weekend. I don't remember. Deadpool crushed it at the box office, so I love that movie. But I could see them doing something like that with Mary Poppins, because for me, Mary Poppins is not a summer movie. Like, I wouldn't want to put it in June, July, August. Like big, like I don't think you could have Mary Poppins 1 week and then a Transformers movie. Like, it just doesn't fit the tone of summer. So I think putting it in December is a good move, but you also don't want to push it back an entire year to make room for another movie when the people working on the Mary Poppins movie have done nothing wrong that we know of. They're on track, they're doing the right thing, they're doing what they're supposed to do, so you don't want to punish Mary Poppins by making room for Han Solo just to get Han Solo out. It's a tough call. That's why Bob Iger is the man. He makes those tough choices, and he usually makes the right one as far as stuff like that goes. I'm a big fan of Bob Iger. I think he's a very, very smart man. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. Obviously he's smart. He's a CEO of the biggest media company on the planet, so he's definitely a smart guy. But I think he's smarter than some people want to give him credit for. Let's see here. Probably should have the next one. Here we go. No, that's not it. Hang on. What's going on here? I need a new computer. Does anybody have any recommendations on a new computer? I don't want to do an Apple book, like Apple MacBook thing, because I'm not used to them. I like this. I like having all my stuff that, oh, here it is. There's the story I was looking for. I like having everything that I'm familiar with. I have an iPhone. That's about it. Let's see. There have been a few brief behind-the-scenes shots featuring Rey and Phasma from The Last Jedi, and the picture that was put out is kind of cool. It was by the British Film Institute, and they have a picture of Rey, or like I think it's a video, but I've only seen the stills. They have a picture that I'm looking at of Rey with a lightsaber running down a beach. It looks very similar to the shot in the trailer where she's holding the lightsaber and running. It looked like in the film they just color corrected it to make it look dark outside. That's kind of what that looks like to me. It looks very, very cool. The Phasma one is really cool too. Let me pull it up here. I like seeing the behind the scenes stuff. I know some people don't like it. Like it has like a golf cart looking thing with a camera dolly on the back of it and Rey on the beach. It looks very funny. Some people don't like seeing the behind the scenes stuff, but I actually quite like it a bit. And the Phasma one's cool too because it's like shows like a green screen, like an explosion, and her walking out through like some fire with some stormtroopers back behind her. You can't see their heads. It's like from chest down, and she looks awesome. Phasma's awesome. I hope that they get Phasma right in The Last Jedi. Like, please. You have such a cool looking character. Please get Phasma right. Please, dear God in heaven, please get Phasma right. I think they'll do a better job this time. I think Rian Johnson is gonna really use her in a good way, I think, for The Last Jedi. And our last story here, because this is gonna be short. I mean, again, we got no news. I'm grasping for straws as it is, and I don't have a co-host to bounce things off of, so this is gonna take a lot less time. So the last story is Star Wars Rebels Season 3 is going to be available on Blu-ray coming up, and if my computer would scroll down, I'd be able to tell you the dates. If you're a Rebels fan, you should definitely check this out. It will be on DVD and Blu-ray on August excuse me, on August 29th, and there's going to be some bonus features and extras, so if you're a Rebels fan, make sure you go and check that out. All right, that is it for this episode. Very short, I know, but it is 4th of July weekend, and I have some business to attend to. Jack Daniels and a cigar waiting for me. So I'm going to wrap this up. I will see you guys. Have a great 4th of July. We will see you next week. When we come back, we're probably going to be a little lenient on podcasts this week because it is the 4th of July. Everyone wants to hear my stupid voice on the 4th of July. They want to be hanging out with their families, grilling. That's what I'll be doing. So make sure you have a safe 4th of July. We will see you next time on the podcast. Please rate me the show on iTunes and Stitcher. Hit subscribe right here if you're watching this on YouTube. And I will see you guys next time. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope at Daily Disney Blog, and my co-host Josh on Periscope, Instagram, and Twitter at Lumberjack Rican. Rate and review the show on iTunes and Stitcher, and we will see you next time. Adios, I bid you adieu. And yes, that's why